The Jets shock the world, and the legend of Mike White is born. He goes over 400 passing yards as New York takes down the mighty Bengals. This poor man's Tom Brady can lead the Jets to another 10-point upset on Thursday night against the Colts. You buying that, Pearce?
No, I'm not buying that whatsoever. The Bengals clearly overlooked the Jets. They weren't prepared. It was a very sloppy game from them. They were missing tackles. They didn't put any pressure on the quarterback. A 4% pressure rate on Mike White. What are you doing, Cincinnati? I mean, this is one of the worst offensive lines in football. Zach Wilson was dealing with a 30% pressure rate every game, and yet Mike White goes out there and doesn't have to deal with anything. He's allowed to check down all game long. And he throws these, intended air yards of 5 yards for play, and is able to move the ball downfield and score. Now, the good thing he's got going for him is Indianapolis, his opponent this week. They are one of the worst. They are the worst in terms of pressure rate. They don't blitz. They don't get to the quarterback at all. But the problem that White's going to run into is that's what the Colts defense does. They allow you to do all these check down passes. They'll give you underneath yards all day, all long, but you can't score against them. So White could probably have another good fantasy day, but I don't think the Jets are going to win again.
I mean, Geoff, what do you think here, dude? This doesn't look like a fluke. He was tossing dimes, second quarterback ever to throw for 400 yards in his first career start, joining Cam Newton.
It's a cool story. I hope somebody goes out and gives Mike White like $100 million. That's probably what will happen. So good for him. No, it's not going to happen again. Pearce is right on. I don't know what the Bengals were doing last week. Like the other thing is, I mean, a lot of Mike White's production. It came in the end of this game. The Bengals were salting the game away, and then they just threw a random pick, and all of a sudden he's got the ball back, and all of these fantasy points are flowing. So it was a weird game. The Jets in no way should have won that game, either from a matchup perspective or just in game. They needed so many things to go right. The Colts this is a pretty big bounce back spot. They're just going to run Jonathan Taylor. This is probably even going to be a slower paced game as well. I do not expect another sloppy shootout like the Bengals handed Mike White last week. So all things considered, yeah, he'll probably rack up a few yards like Pearce said. That's what the Colts do, give up. But if they get any pressure on him, this chalice is going to turn into a pumpkin pretty fast.